Now it's recording. Hi guys, welcome to my Flosstube. It is Wednesday, October the 13th, almost 12 o'clock in the day, and this is take 2 because I have just fully recorded this Flosstube, except it didn't record at all. So we're trying a new system today and using the fancy schmancy camera that we've always owned, that Robin bought to do end of race, the video for the end of a cycling race, to then run at super slow speed so that we could see which order people finished in. We've had it this whole time. Why haven't we used it? Anyway, turns out that record button, you have to push it really hard. Anyway, I'm not blaming anybody. It was Robin.
Bad beat.
Trust me, when I stopped, it's not there. Anyway, I'm so sorry I've been AWOL for, oh crikey, 2.5 weeks now. Yeah, life's been in the way, I've been ever so tired, and yeah, I'm sorry. So, our big news is we have kittens. Turned out Clive left a very, very big cat-sized hole in our lives. So, unbeknownst to me, Robin went kitten hunting. Let me introduce you to a sleepy, he won't stay on me, a sleepy Billy Bob, who is almost 11 weeks old. We have had them for a week and a half now. We got them, they were just over 9 weeks old when we got them. This is Billy Bob. He is a little boy. He is white and tabby and sleepy. I'm just going to pick him up again. He is a gorgeous little thing. This is the most placid he's been with me holding him. It's only because he was fast asleep when Robin just picked him up. Hello buddy. Hello baby.
Yeah, he was twitching a bit there.
Yes, he's off. Where are you going? So that's Billy Bob. He's our little white and tabby. And here comes our little white and... And here is Bella. Here's Bella Boo, who's also very sleepy and wants to be with her brother. She is predominantly white and black, and isn't she a little dinky dot? Now we thought Bella Boo was a Mick. We thought she was a little boy. She was given to us as well. We got her as a little boy, but we're absolutely thrilled to bits that she's a little girl. And she is a little dot. She is super friendly, settled in wonderfully, very happy little kitten. She's a lovely little girl. She's got a really, look at the length of this not quite 11-week-old kitten's tail. And her bottom, everybody. And we've all seen that she's a little girl. And she's just going to go back to... They're Robin's kittens. It turns out that he was missing Clive more than any of us. But he's home all day long with him, and I think the two of them had shuffled around the house together for some time. And yeah, really missing Clive, and went on a kitten search. So when I drove back from dropping Maddie off in Cambridge on Sunday before last, I drove to Durham and I drove to Darlington, met all of our other people in the other car, and we drove on to Durham and used good old Google Maps to find one house in a housing estate of about 100,000 houses. Chapped on the door and 2 kittens came out and we took them home. They came equipped with adult cat-sized fleas, which were making them crazy. So a very quick trip to the vets, and where we found out that Mick was actually Bella, which Robin kind of already sussed out that she was a girl, and she's such a little girl. She's such a little dot. Yeah, the vet gave them some very good, very quick, and the fleas are now falling off. The kitten's dead. They've gone. We've done with fleas. I don't do fleas. They're not nice. And since then they've settled down.
Yeah,
it was making them crazy. They settled down almost overnight after that. So they've been flea'd, They've been treated for roundworms, and they've had their first set of injections. So at not quite 11 weeks old, we're getting there. They will be neutered as early as possible because we have a boy and a girl, and apparently it doesn't matter that they're litter mates. So they'll be going in as soon as they can to be neutered, because we don't want to be in the business of selling kittens at all. Eric is adjusting. He's getting very much better. He plays very rough with Billy. He doesn't play rough with Bella at all. He goes, no, you're a little girl, I'm not going to duff you up. She goes for him, but he doesn't play too rough with her. He really goes for Billy. So they're getting there. They all eat together now. Yeah. They're all eating together. They're all using, well, Eric doesn't really use the litter tray anymore, but they're all using the same litter tray. We've not got kitten this and kitten that. We've all just bunged them in together. They'll be fine. They're getting there. So, kitten news. New kittens, huh? Always fun. Stitching. I have done quite a lot of stitching. Never feels like I've done any stitching, but I know that I have. I am not able to keep up with the 1,000 stitches a day for 100 days. I am currently running about 16,000 stitches short of the goal, so I'm not going to be catching myself up, because there's no way I can make up the difference now. I just don't have the time. The time when I'm awake and alert. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my heights that I have worked on, and because we're trying the fancy camera, and it'll be going into a different editing program, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to do picture in picture or whether it's just going to be like a whole picture come up. So I'm going to point in the hope that picture in picture is going to work, and if it doesn't, it'll just come up and I won't be pointing at anything. So I've got meditation here. I've put in a few stitches on this, 500 or 600 maybe. So I did take a picture, so if I have a picture, it's here or across. And here's where I am now, and you can see that I've put in some more black. This black was done, I think, and I've put in the black stitches here, and I've started on the black stitches here. I'm doing this extreme cross country, except because it's a mandala, I started in the middle, so my extreme cross country is extremely neat. So at the moment I've got 8,000 black stitches to put in, so I've done a few here and I'm started here. So every now and again, because they're black stitches, I'm a bit blah, but I'll get them done. And I really just wanted to just move on to the next colour and fill all the, because all the gaps here, all the gaps left in this section here, put it in front of my face and it should go into focus, there, should basically one colour. And I thought, oh, I can get that bit finished, but I'm going to try and stick to my guns and do it in extreme cross country. So every now and again I pop some stitches in there. And then I put some stitches into the Snow Wizard, probably about 1,000 in all, and I did take a picture. If I can insert it, it'll be here. And this is where I am with Snow Wizard. Doesn't look like anything much, but I filled in a lot of this here and a lot of this here, and this little dragon here was missing a stitch in his nostril, I think, so that's been filled in as well. So I'm going to keep on trucking down, and can you see the background colours just lightening up another colour here in the middle? I think we're starting to get the lighter colour as we get further down the piece, so it's quite exciting that I'm running out of the 820 that I used, 6/8 skeins of 820 up here, where most of the background's that glorious dark vibrant blue. There's a dragon. I'm now down to, I think I've got about 500 820 stitches left, so I'm quite looking forward to moving on. I mean, we've done 796, and this in the middle here is 797, which is quite a lighter colour. So this is very easy to stitch on in the evenings because it is 14 count Ada. I mean, if you did this on 25 count, it's literally a story keep. It should be about this wide. But because I'm doing it on 14 count, it's going to be a nice big piece. It's going to be really long. It's 420 stitches long. So I've got a lot of it rolled up. Got a lot of Ada still to go rolled up down here. This is on a little frame that I made myself. These are 11-inch Q-snap sides and the corners, and all that I've done is I've got 17-inch clamps, and the top and bottom of the fabric are clamped on, and I've just rolled it up round the clamp, and then it keeps it tight enough to stitch on. Brilliant, huh? And it's working well for me, and it's a nice size because I stitch across my knee. I balance across my knee when I stitch like this. So this is good. I like it. Normally I use 11-inch Q-snaps and only 11-inch Q-snaps. That's what I have, 4 or 5 of them. This size. Anyway, this is the other full coverage piece that I have been working on, and I've worked in 3 different sections, hence why I'm taking that off, because I need to show you 3 different pieces. Now, I decided to fill in the leaf of the key. This is the key, Kirsten Mills Haid. It's a standard size Haid, but because I'm doing it on, again, 14 count Ada, it is this wide by this long. So it's going to be a big beastie. It's going to be like a poster size, a big poster, which I am perfectly happy with. And the picture of where I picked up the leaf hopefully will appear here, or will flash up. I've definitely taken, I've been really conscientious because I knew I was going to miss a bit of time here. So I've been really careful to take pictures so I could put pictures in to show you how progress has come along. And here is my leaf. I stitched until I was done with the leaf. There is the leaf, and quite a lot of the grey background. You can see here and there where there's little bits of gaps, but that leaf is complete. And yeah, there was a lot of confetti at the end. 2 stitches, 3 stitches, one at the point of each point of the ivy leaf. You know, 1 stitch here, 1 stitch there, 1 stitch here. I just carried them. I've got some big lengths here that I've carried, 4 inches maybe, but I've carried it over where there's blank fabric. So as I stitch in this bit, I'll stitch over that. And it's going to be framed. It's not like it's not going to be backed and framed. It'll be fine. And then the second place I picked it up was this top corner, the top left, where I normally start pieces and where I usually get the most bits done. Picture of where I started that should pop up here somewhere, and this is where I got to before the confetti got to me, here. So I filled in quite a few gaps, quite a few colours, and we're working within the size of my Q-snap. So you can see wherever I put the Q-snap is where I work. So I then picked up here a piece of background that I knew was just going to be a brick. So we're talking large number of stitches in 4 or 5 greys, and then you pick up all the fine detail. So that's where I got to on that bit there on the picture. And you can see I've basically gone around, look, let me put my own face in it. I've basically gone around where another leaf's going to be. You can see there's going to be another ivy leaf here, but I've filled in a lot of the grey because I can pop in a lot of stitches very quickly, and it's nice and easy for me to do because I have colour completed the black stitches, so I have a framework. To stitch round. So if I'm going to pick it, if I put the Q-snap here, I could pick up, I easily find on Pattern Keeper where these 3 stitches are marked off, and I can then stitch from them. It is pre-gridded fabric, 14 count pre-gridded fabric, 2 strands, just 2 strands. I find 3 too bulky of DMC, and he's looking lovely. And he's got a big leaf next to his nose, which is completely filled in. The only gaps are in the wall behind, and it's only because I didn't have those DMCs in my hands at the time. So there's the key, which I have worked on. And then I picked up my Modern Folk Embroidery SAL, and I'm still in February, but I am at the very end of February. And here, maybe start picture and finish picture. Wow, that's jumping brilliantly on the camera. Here we go. Look, as you can see, I'm nearly finished with February. I've just got this little bit here to do, and then February will be done and I can move on to March. As you can see, it's going to fit very nicely on my piece of 40 count. This is a beautiful piece of Be Stitch Me fabric, and yeah, it is glorious. I'm using DMC 330, 333 and 155 are my two chosen colours there. And the fabric is called Punch, and it's 40 count and it's super fine, and there's a cat on the table knocking things off. Great. So, Modern Folk Embroidery. Very, very happy, very pleased, lovely to stitch on it. It's a very fine piece of 40 count linen. It's very, very even. Excuse me. Very even to stitch on, and same fabric, different colour. This is Aegean. Again, 40 count. Very, very fine linen, and this is my new normal. That is showing not bad. You can have a look at this piece of fabric. Isn't it amazing? Look at the mottling on it. Isn't it marvellous? I love it to bits. And here is my new normal, which is all pinks and teals. And I put in some stitches over here at some point in the last week or so. I have a kitten behind me. And I put in, oh, the sky, the clouds are changing all the time outside, the colours changing in here. I put in stitches here, did a bit on this one, and I've done quite a bit on the bubble underneath the keyhole shape, and I'm quite happy with it. This is a dinky dye here, and then this is just a straight DMC. This little woodpecker here, I will be frogging him out and putting the DMC away for another project because it just wasn't quite right. Hello, Billy Bob. Hello, buddy. I have the kitten. Little Billykin. He's a little bit spooky with me still because he doesn't see me as much as he sees everybody else. Because I'm always at work. Oh. There's one thing we learned this morning, it's not to leave little bits of DMC around because he eats it, which is not good for small kitten tummies. Not at all good for small kitten tummies. That was freezing cold. Oh,
How's that?
well, you made it ages ago when I did my Flosstube last time. So, when we drove down to drop Maddie off, Maddie and I left here on Saturday morning and we drove all the way down to Cambridge, and I just took one project with me this time, which was much more sensible, and that's Billy, just in shot here. Oh, I got him! I got him! Look at him! Look at
He
this
looks pleased.
little dinky dot of a kitten. Hello! Was that you saying hello, or was that you saying help? I think it might have been hello everybody, or it might have been
pal.
Help. Anyway, I only took one project with me, and I didn't need to put too many stitches in to get to 25% complete. And when I got to 25% complete, I put a picture up on Instagram. And the picture I put up on Instagram is hopefully here, or possibly here. And I had a proper real fangirl moment because Jules Line, Mrs. Long Dog Sampler herself, commented on my picture. And you know, I didn't tag her in or anything. She just saw it. I mean, obviously she's the person who designs Long Dog Samplers. She obviously monitors the hashtag Long Dog Samplers, but I was absolutely just beside myself that she commented on mine. She said she liked it, which I was like, Oh! Yeah. Properly fangirly. I was trying to explain it to Maddie and she was like, yeah, I start at Cambridge tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, you win. But still, this is epic. So I carried on and I'm at 26% now, so I've got another % done and I've gone down into the next turquoise down here. So we're going just the last, this is the last turquoisey colour before it tips into the greeny colours. Oh, I've got a Bella on my knee. Oh, Bella baby, that's your claws. Ow. And I went a little bit further here and put in this bit here. I've gridded down a bit further so I can get the next couple of colours in, and I think I'm going to shoot for the bottom and get some of the colours all the way down so that I know where I am. But for a quarter done on my piece of 32 count pink opalescent, dyed by me, pink. Actually, the fabric on its own looks quite bright, but with the stitching on top of it, it sorts it out really, doesn't it? So I'm super happy with my pointed fifth. Chico Quinto? Yeah, I'm just calling mine pointed fifth. So that was my wonderful long dog moment, and I was beside myself with happiness. Really lovely. So, two more projects that one I've done loads of work on and one I'm not entirely sure. But I will be picking this up because we're in Halloweeny season. So I'm going to do a bit more on my Emma Congdon Midnight Magic. It's from this month's Cross Stitcher, October 21 edition of the Cross Stitcher. I'm very pleased with this magazine. I don't always buy them. I don't need to subscribe to anything. I go into Tesco's, I have a look at it. If I see that it's got patterns that I like the look of, I'll buy the magazine. A hard copy in my hand. I'm old school. I like a hard copy in my hands. Every now and again. Mostly I love Pattern Keeper. Sometimes I really like a hard copy. So all I've done on 18 count navy blue, oh, it's showing a little bold, it is navy blue, Ada, is just this bit, just that bottom corner. I've got the sweeties in and I've got the best part of that M done, and that's all. So I want to do a bit more of this because we are in Halloweeny territory now, aren't we? And then the other Emma Congdon that I've worked on quite a lot is from my wonderful book Cross Stitch for the Earth, which I have not regretted for 1 second purchasing. It's a wonderful book full of gorgeous patterns, and it's this one here, Never Estimate the Difference You Make. I'm stitching this as a Christmas present for a family member who sadly always gets a homemade present from me, and I only do it. She'll never watch this. I'm fairly safe and secure that she'll never watch this. But that is perfect for her. It's just right for her. But every year I give her a handmade present just so I can see oh, you've given me another handmade present. It's not passive aggressive, but it entertains me. What can I say? Simple pleasures. I'm a simple human being. So I've actually done a whole pile load. I've got a picture. It's either here or I don't know which yet. We'll find out. And this is where I am. Look, I've done loads. I think I'm halfway at least, maybe more. I've done absolutely loads of this because it's really easy to stitch on and the patterns are beautiful. Look at the colours in the palette. Isn't it wonderful? So I finished up. Here I had some work in these trees. I had the edge of this border and I've done this birdie, I've got this beak and this bit, I've done the border there, I've done these letters, I've done this border, I've done those letters, and I've done this. What I wanted to do was get to the bottom. Now there's a B that goes here, which I'm going to stitch next. Once I've put the bottom on the Y, I'm going to stitch the B next, so that I know where the bottom is, and that's because I've bought another Emma Congdon pattern and I'm going to try and fit it in this gap, because even though I bought, for me, quite a big cut, this is 1/2 metre by I think about 1 metre of 32 count Lugana. Oh, I still struggle. And I'm using it 2 over, so it's coming out at 16 count, which is lovely. And I'm quite happy to stitch them on Ada, but this time I wanted like the woven look behind, so I picked a piece of Lugana. And I'm basically going to see how many I can fit on this piece. Now I'll be framing them myself, so I don't need a very big border. I gave myself a goodness me, there's nearly 3 inches to play with at the top there. 2 inches at the side, but I've got the selvage, so that means it's never going to unravel or pull or anything. But at the bottom there, oh, I can go into plans because this is my last stitch piece. Right, I bought 3 patterns at the weekend, maybe. I think it was at the weekend. I bought 3 patterns off Etsy, and the first one was an Emma Congdon pattern, which was already in my basket, so I thought I better had buy it because it was in my basket looking at me, and I'd put other patterns in my basket, so I thought I better had. Yes, it's called Noel pattern. It's Stitch Rovia, who is Emma Congdon, of course, on Etsy.
A wee coffee.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. And it is CSR 00147. It's Noel, and I have a black and white picture of it on my phone, so I'm going to put in a lovely big colour picture of it, and I love it partly because the colour palette is slightly less Christmassy. So as you can see from the picture, it's done in a cube. I'm going to do it all in a line so that the word Noel spells out N-O-E-L in a line. So I thought I'm going to hopefully have enough space here, because that's going to be the bottom there, bit to frame it with, and they're only 70 stitches tall, so it's not huge. Each letter's not huge. I'll frame it myself, so there's no bother about margins, and it'll be for me, so I'll go less margin on my piece and more margin on. Just checking my counter's still counting. The counter's still counting.
I'm sure it was counting.
Well, the video, if the video's there, we've got 2 copies of it to choose between.
Good.
So I'm going to put it along the bottom. If I can, if it'll fit in, I think it'll fit in just about there. And I'm going to start that really, really soon. Couldn't get it into Pattern Keeper, we'll have another go. I was very tired. And I bought 2 other patterns. The first one, I haven't been watching any YouTube. I've just been tired when I get in, and I've been watching stuff on the BBC iPlayer. I watched the UK series of Ambulance, and then I found that there was an Australian series, 2 series of Australian Ambulance, which I was like, brilliant, and I kind of binge watched them. So I haven't really been watching much YouTube at all. I'm really, really behind, but I think Emily C showed it, and then I saw it when I think it was Catty Sue Cats put it up on Instagram, and it's a pattern from Miss Prim. I'm pointing here in the really good hope that there's a lovely big picture of it, and he's called Quincy Cat MP15, and you find Miss Prim on Etsy. It was quite expensive for a small pattern, but I couldn't not buy it. Once I'd seen it, I wanted it. So I treated myself. Anyway, I need your help. Let me have some coffee and get rid of this mouthful of Twix, which I probably shouldn't have bitten into while I'm trying to talk. Okay, so obviously I want to change this to make it look like Clive. So can I have some help from you who know and have access to threads that I can't look at and hold? I can order, but I have to make my decision based on a picture on the screen. I am looking for an overdyed. I can get hold of Gentle Arts. I can get hold of Weeks very easily. I've got an online place in the UK that always has a really good stock of Weeks. I can get hold of Gentle Arts, and I can get hold of some, what's the other one? I can't remember. Anyway, quick jiggle there with the, we've just put it into the computer just to make sure everything's working. Take one did record. I apologise, Robin! God. Such a princess. Anyway, we also have a very large fly in the room now and the kittens are going bananas trying to catch it. So if you suddenly see a flying creature, it's a small kitten chasing a big fly. Anyway, yeah, I need your help. So I don't know if I've shown you the picture yet, or I've kind of lost my thread a little bit because we had to go onto the laptop there. The pattern is wonderful, and I think it was Emily C that showed it, but as I say, I haven't watched her Flosstube yet. And I went on to Etsy, found said pattern. I saw it on Instagram. Somebody popped it up. I think it was Katie Sue Katz, who I really like, and I love her stitching. She's on Instagram. And sorry if I just shouted you out when you didn't want shouting out, but go and look at her on Instagram. She's fantastic things. Anyway, I saw this pattern and I was like, I have to do it. So what I'm after is people to let me know the colourway that I'm, a selection of colourways that would work for what I need them for. I want to make the cat. Picture here, I don't know if I've already shown it, I can't remember where I was 10 minutes ago. It's from Miss Prim and he's called Quincy Cat and he is fabulous and he just looks like Clive anyway, but I'm going to make him look, I want to make him look like Clive. Sorry if this is disjointed or repeated up. So I'm looking for an over-dyed cotton thread or a dinky dye if anyone knows. I'm looking for names of cotton over-dyed Weeks, Gentle Arts, if anyone just happens to know of a dinky dye that's perfect. Because I can't go and handle them, I can only order, and then if it comes wrong, I've then got stash. I'd rather spend my money on something that I can actually use for the project I want it for. I want predominantly black, charcoaly grey into brown, into a browny colour, but predominantly black. You see, looking at a little colour swatch isn't going to be enough, but people who are stitching with overdyes can go, oh goodness, I used the perfect one. Ah, here it is. Oh, it's this. Please leave me a little comment to let me know what the name, like black Weeks Dye Work is Onyx, but that's black. It's not got a brown tone in it. I'd like an overdyed into a brown tone because when the sunshine hit Clive, he always looked a bit dusty and brown. So black into brown so that I can stitch it as an overdyed so it's got the same prim look to it, but it's Clive and not blue. I'd love to do it blue, I might do it blue but later, but I'd like this one to be a Clivo rememberer. So if you could help, please leave me a comment, that would be super lovely. Hello Bella. Little Bella. Shall I get her? Can I get her? Oh, got her. I got her. I got her Bella. Got a little Bella Boo. Hey little Bella Boo. Oh, and she's going that way. Oh, look at her spots. Hasn't she got marvellous spots? She's got marvellous spots. She's a gorgeous little kitten. There she is. Bella. Anyway, so that was a pattern that I bought, and then now she's stalking the fish. She's not going to get very far stalking fish because they're in a fish tank. The last pattern I bought, I saw something pop up on Instagram and I went, oh, I have to go and find this lady, and I will just pull up my PDF so that I know I've got it absolutely right. She is called Files. She's called, oh my phone's clockwork, Lola Crow, and her little icon, her little logo is fantastic. Oh goodness, why is my phone misbehaving like this? It is a crow in a pair of red glasses. Has that focused? Probably not. Come on. Come on camera. There. Look at it, isn't it wonderful? I love it. Lola Crow. She is on Etsy and I bought this pattern. Put it in front of my face so it will focus, please camera. Only trouble with a super smart camera is it there. There it is, it's in focus now. Isn't that amazing? That's called What the Cat Saw. troubled waters. It's everything I love. It's a cat on a windowsill with a sailing ship with a kraken coming to claim it. Oh, fantastic. I have to stitch this. It's full coverage. It went into Pattern Keeper very straightforwardly. I just had to input the thread colours, not a problem. Kids? Kitten's on the... Oh, I can't even explain. I will try. There is a television in the windowsill of my living room, an old television which is going up to a bedroom when we do the bedroom churn, and they're walking along the top of it because the fly is now on the window. Anyway, this little pattern is 87 by 87 and I love it. I will change the cat to be Eric and I will probably give it to one of my children when it's done, eventually when it's done. But oh, I love it. I had to buy it and it was very, very reasonable. It was like £4 or £5 and instant download. They're already on the computer because I downloaded them to Robin's laptop because you can't download Etsy patterns onto these things. It has to be onto a proper bona fide machine. So she's pouncing on the curtain. We don't have a door in the living room. We've got like a curtain that keeps the drafts out because we tried to open plan and it just makes the house cold. Doesn't it, Puppet? There she is. There she is. See, she's much more with it, a go-getter in the household than the boy who is still on top of the telly over there. Wow. Oh, we're having a Dizzy Whiz. We're having a Dizzy Whiz cat moment on YouTube. Lola. Not Lola. Twice I've called her Lola. She's called Bella. She was called Mickey for a few days there. Which is lovely because we just saved her from being called Mick Tavish. Robin had called her Mick Tavish. So thankfully she's now Bella Boo. Anyway, so those are the 3 patterns I bought. So all I need to do now is plans. So we are slipping into Halloween territory. So I thought I would pull out my 2 Halloween patterns. I have got my new one that I am working on and I've already shown you the pathetic start on here. I am a Congdon. And for something a bit more classic, I have pulled out my Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow carriage house samplings. It's in the plastic. Sorry about the glare. If you don't know what it looks like, it's amazing. And I am doing mine a la Mama Bear Stitchery on Blurple fabric, which I hand dyed. If you're new here, you're very welcome here. And sorry, I do usually post really regularly. Oh heavens, that's showing super bright. And here is my Blurple fabric, and there is a video down, scroll down, long way down, of me dyeing this, and it took several goes to get it to look like this. Anyway, here is the start I have, and what I would dearly like to do is get this first block finished. And because it's on the Blurple, some of it I'm doing reversed. So this little skeleton should have been 3799 and he's actually in ecru, I think. So I'm adding in occasionally some hand dyed, some over dyed. Like this grass here is Weeks Dye Works Curry. I'm half wishing I'd done it a bit greener, but I'm not frogging out that number of stitches to change it to something a bit greener, so it stays as it is. And otherwise I'm using called for the DMC conversions just because they're easy, but here and there I'm adding in an over dyed now and then, and I don't know where I'm going to go, whether I'm just going to start a whole new block, whether I'm going to I might do a witch. I might do a witch. Haven't decided yet. And the witches of course are right in the middle. There's 2 witches. And there's one here and one there with a pumpkin. And I think for Halloween maybe I should just do a witch and a pumpkin because I've already stitched the cat. The cat here is in, so that gives me a good marker to do the pumpkin and the witch. So maybe I'll do a pumpkin and a witch. And the only other thing I've pulled out while I was looking for that, look everybody, it's in a project bag with Bella.
Found a wee fat toad.
Oh, Robin has just brought in a wee fat toad because obviously.
Robert.
Oh! Thank you. I just had a toad on my leg.
Bye.
Where did you find him?
In my toolbox.
Toad in your toolbox. I found one half that size in the fridge at work, in the big container at the back, you know, full of beer kegs. I set it free. No one else would touch it and everyone was screaming like I just did when you dropped it on my leg. He just dropped a toad on my leg. I have to live with a man who brings a toad the size of my palm into my living room and then drops it on my leg. Ugh. Well, there we go. Wee fat toad. In this project bag, oh God, you can see the conditions I'm living in. It's amazing I get anything done, honestly. At least life is not dull. Life's not dull. I found a project bag. It was one of my first, and as you can see, it is a little project bag. It's a little bit little, but in this bag is my Celtic lady, and also on a piece of my own hand-dyed fabric. Eyeballs out on stalks for this one. It's bright. It's a bright piece of fabric, but there's my Celtic summer, which if you're new to me, she needs a good iron. She's got a great big crease right through her face. I have done her skin, her face, and I am down to here on her. I'm either going to put some fancy bits up here. I'm not going to bead any of it until I'm done, unless I can find a little, I don't know whether to make a little makeshift scroll frame for her. Oh, I might make a little makeshift scroll frame for her, very like the Snow Wizard, because then I can scroll her and I can bead. Oh, good plan. Good, thank you. Good plan. Give me a really good idea. So I've brought this out, and if you don't know me, I was superly overexcited to snag a vintage full kit up. So I have all the needle paints and the vintage DMC, which is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It came with all the beads. It came with 3 or 4 cards of the Petite Treasure braid, and yeah, it was just, oh, it was amazing. It even came with the original fabric, which was horrible, hence why I dyed my own fabric. And I went a bit crazy because it was meant to be Blossom on a pale green background, and yeah, I went a bit nuts, but I think she's going to look astounding on it. And she's mine, so it doesn't matter if anybody else thinks it's like vomit inducing. I love it. So I pulled her out because I really fancy stitching a bit on her, and thank you for the wonderful idea of making her a little scroll frame out of my poly pipe and my corners and spare clips. I don't even buy these anymore because I can make these. I buy, instead of buying one of these with 4 of these, which the ones I use are R&R craft frames, and this in Hobbycraft I can buy one of these for £14 now. They used to be less, but everything's gone up in price. Welcome to today's modern world. And instead of buying this now, I buy these replacement clips. Just these. This I can make with things I can buy in B&Q for this much pipe and 4 corners, £2. These are like £3. So I buy these and I make these and they clip on. And the only thing you have to do if you make them yourself and you want them to be fixed is you have to glue. Ooh. Yeah, handmade. That's my pipe. That's hand cut by me because it's full of swarf. If you want them to not move on their axis too much, you need to put a spot of super glue when you clip them together, because that holds it. It holds it permanently. You can't take them back to bits, but it'll hold it square. And then make sure that you're square when you set it down, and then it'll be permanently fixed square. or two corners, say, like when you buy a Q-snap, it comes with two corners sort of welded on. Same deal, you just glue them on. Anyway, that's what I do now. So I'm going to make myself, thank you for the idea. So that's me, all done. We've covered our bases. Everybody's fine. We've got kittens being naughty. And showing you all my stitching. I'm so sorry I've been away. Life just got in the way a bit. I think it's mostly just old age. From doing all that driving, it just knocked all the stuffing out of me, and I basically worked the 5 days, drove for 2 days, and then went straight back to work for 5 days, and then drove for 2 days, and then went straight back to work. So
Far too much.
I think the knock-on effect really knocked the stuffing out of me, but this week I've been very much better, been much more alert, and I'm feeling better, and I'm back doing my videos again, and hopefully it's not going to be a school lunchbox tomorrow. Do not eat it.
I'm not eating that. I've not eaten them since I was told not to eat them.
He eats the kids' lunchbox treats. You know, when you buy things specifically to put in your children's lunchboxes, and then, oh, Bobby, I hang around the house all day, just... Anybody seen the Lorax? When it opens the fridge and the bear in the fridge with the pat of butter going...
That is unkind.
That's it.
You're just trying to get me back for saying sorry about that I did press record.
It's time to go. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back as soon as I can. Hopefully you'll get some more kittens. He's playing in the front garden now.
Back garden there.
Back garden now. Now he's finished dropping toads on me. I'll see you really soon. Have a really good stitchy week. Hopefully you'll get loads of good stitching in, and oh my god, Bella's eating a hair rat. There's a hazard of having really long hair and having two other people in the house with really long hair. There's hair rats everywhere. Oh, I don't know how. She must have, I'm going to have to go because I've got to get that out of her mouth before she eats it, or we're going to have stringy poo. Right guys, on that note, I will say goodbye and I will catch you soon. And oh, she's left it. She's either gubbed it or she's dropped it. No, it's not. It's hanging from her mouth. I've got to go and get that out of my kitten's mouth. I'll catch you soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye. Which button is it? Okay, we're recording again. I really don't want to have to do it 3 times.
Let's stop it and check.